but oftentimes the blame is always quickly placed on the teacher. Like, how did the teacher let this get out of control? They never analyze the history of the student, typical behaviors of the student. There's only so much that you can say. A lot of these behavioral problems start immediately at the house.
Tonight we're starting out with a video of out of Bowie Middle School in Odessa going viral in all the wrong ways. A shocking altercation between a student and a teacher leading to first-degree felony charges and an arrest. Tonight, the Ector County Independent School District is responding to the video and looking to the future of safety in ECISD for teachers and students. Christina Burgess is here to break down the district's response. And Christina, what do they have to say in this matter?
Well, Alex, for starters, there will be following the student code of conduct. I had a chance to speak with the district superintendent, Dr. Murray, who says incidents like this one will not be tolerated. I do want to warn you that the video we're about to show you is graphic. It's a video you've probably seen on social media over the past 24 hours. The original Facebook post shared over 3,000 times. And even though it's barely 40 seconds long,
I just want to point out the fact that there's another student in the classroom filming this. So for all you parents who are at home thinking your child is using their cell phone for only emergency purposes, this is actually what is happening. And this is what, I mean, we're not even in high school yet. We have a student out of their seat, which is a safety violation. And I can talk a lot about this stuff when it comes to teaching, because I have been a teacher before and did quite well at it. The issue here is, I'm not even going to go for classroom management. Oftentimes the blame, I haven't even seen the rest of this video yet, but oftentimes the blame is always quickly placed on the teacher. Like, how did the teacher let this get out of control? They never analyze the history of the student, typical behaviors of the student. There's only so much that you can say. A lot of these behavioral problems start immediately at the house. The child is very defiant at home. Maybe there's no father there. Maybe there's no mother there. Who knows? But always when they pin it on the teacher, that's something that it irritates me, because it's often left out the typical behavior of most average students in the education system. They always say that the teachers, they don't teach. That's not true. They always say the teachers don't try to impart wisdom. That's not true. Oftentimes the teachers are battling everything else but teaching, and they have no support from anywhere.
To watch. In it, you can hear an 8th grade Bowie Middle School student and his teacher arguing over a phone.
Why are we arguing? See, this is where you begin the defiance of authority. People think that they don't like authority, but if there is no form of authority in society and civilization, there will be complete chaos. This is a perfect example. Already starting, we're in middle school. The parents should have already told their child, sit down when you go to school, shut your mouth, do what the teacher says. Those are the most basic fundamentals of any education. You go to any ancient culture, including all the way up to now, the most basic fundamentals are that you respect the person in authority that's teaching you. The purpose behind you going to school is not to have fun. It's not to show off your shoes. It's to become educated. But here we have this student who wants to be defiant because we're taking away his cell phone, which I can almost guarantee in that school, whatever the school is, if we were to pull up their rules and guidelines and documentation, cell phones are just not able to be all out and about. And if they are, if I was a parent, I would tell my child, you put your phone away, because this is not why you are here.
She confiscated from him. As the video progresses, you see the teacher refusing to give it to him. Then the student becomes physical.
Now people are going to try to hide. Oh, she pushed him. Nope. He actually attacked her first. Now here's the thing. And I'm gonna play it again because I want you to see him actually get physical first. First of all, the fact that he's withholding giving her the phone is already an issue to me. All I should have to say is, give me the phone. It's that simple.
To give it to him. And the student becomes physical, teacher refusing to give it to him.
See, he pushes first right there. You see that? And she pushes him off of him. Naturally, this is a woman, by the way. Imagine this is your wife or this is your daughter teaching, and then there's another student pushing up on him. I have actually seen with my own eyes the physical altercations with students and teachers for no reason whatsoever, other than the student didn't like the outcome of what they were told. This is one of those cases here. Now, what do? Do you tell the teacher you can't defend yourself? Is a student allowed to get on top of you and beat the crap out of you and you can't respond whatsoever? That's what we're leading to. And then you wonder why nobody wants to teach. There are thousands, millions of cases of amazing teachers that go far out of their way, they get paid nothing. So when I hear anyone trying to down them and say nobody wants to teach, they're just giving them packets, and that's not even anywhere near. Most of these people who say that have never been a teacher, have never taught, and know nothing about teaching. They think that, oh, if you just go to the classroom and wave your hand and be nice and give out candy and say all happy things, that all the students are just going to sit down and listen to what you have to say. No, that never happens. Anyone who has children knows that doesn't happen. You can't sit there and be like perfectly nice to your son or your daughter all the time. Sometimes you have to be an authoritarian and tell them straight up, this is the rule, this is the policy. And if you don't do that, this is the result.
Becomes physical, shoves the teacher, hits her multiple times, knocks her head against the desk, and knocks her to the ground. A violent incident that ECISD Superintendent Dr. Muri said will not be tolerated in this district.
Specifically with students involved in a situation like this, we have an obligation to follow.
And so he's going to say the typical jargon, he's going to say stuff without saying it, but not really say anything at all. It's not tolerated, duh. And that we don't want this to happen again, duh. But really, it's going to happen again because most of these kids are coming from households where this is acceptable. It's acceptable for you to talk back to an adult at any given point. You can tell an adult to shut the F up at any moment. This is the culture and society that we have bred now.
Our student code of conduct in this situation of violence is not tolerable. Specifically, this was an assault on a teacher, and so we will.
At least he said that. Some other districts around the United States would quickly say, oh, is the teacher assaulting the student? No. Is the teacher supposed to sit there and allowed to just get beat up? Imagine high school. Imagine this, your wife in high school, your daughter, they could be pregnant because unfortunately they're not allowed to stay home if they become pregnant, and they're teaching, and then the student gets mad and they want to wallop on the teacher. This has actually happened. This has actually happened, and no one does anything about it. No one talks about it.
Certainly use our every avenue legally to make sure that this type of situation doesn't happen again. All of those pieces are in place, so these incidents don't necessarily create a policy change. It is effectively using the policies and procedures that are in place. So fidelity of implementation, if you will, making sure that we're implementing those policies and procedures.
And he sounds like a well-meaning a man here, but in the background, in the back of his mind, he actually knows the real deal. Okay. And by the way, he's a superintendent. He has a lot of heavy as the crown, so to speak.
Effectively.
And he says while they make sure their teachers are equipped with what they need, wants parents to do the same with their children.
Clear rules and expectations of children and of adults as well, but that need to be clear. Our families need to understand those so that moms and dads can have conversations with kids about those rules and expectations. And then we have to equip our teachers and those that work with our children with the knowledge so that they also understand the rules and expectations and how to implement those and enforce those within our campus. So
that's for the teacher involved. The district is fully supporting her.
We're providing full support to
Wow.
the teacher to make sure that she feels confident and comfortable.
Thank you. I forgot the name of this school here. Thank you for fully supporting this teacher. This is actually rare. I haven't seen it that often.
Return to work and continue to educate kids, and we will continue to support her and her family as we navigate this situation.
And according to ECI.
So, I mean, that's a rare, a win for the teacher there. Most of the time, you could find several videos on YouTube where the student calls the teacher all kinds of expletive curse words and proceeds to then fight them, and then the teacher is punished for simply doing their job and what they're supposed to do. And while getting attacked, not getting paid enough, getting fired, and then after all that, then to hear the public say the teachers don't do anything. This is what typically happens in the United States of America. It's not the teachers, it's more so the lack of foundation at the home and then the bad behavior of students, something that most people aren't willing to say, or they're very scared to say it. Well, I'm not. Anyway, these are the ramblings of a madman.